In this unboxing, showcase and review, we're going to be taking a look at UPF or LPZZ's Red Death from their Dark Nights Metal line. I believe that's their more premium line. UPF's Arkham Knight was great, so I'm excited to see how this one is. Got this 1/12 action figure from Bombersby, and if you want to grab some stuff, I'll have them linked down below. The inner box is kind of shiny, pretty cool. Nothing much at the back. It will flip over on one side. On the flap it says, "My name is Bruce Wayne, I am Vengeance, I am Justice, I am Batman, the Red Death." There is a little collector's card on the inside, and a little teaser for the next figure. I'd say the packaging is quite premium, and the whole box is pretty heavy as well. A little bit tricky to get out, but there are instructions. After sales, or just contact wherever you got it from. Lightning effect pieces strapped to the back. And there are two trays. The bottom tray has some stand stuff, and the top tray has everything else. The stand stuff is actually pretty cool, even though I don't usually use stands. Looks and feels very, very premium. Hole at the back, of course. You can open it up to store stuff if you want. The skulls look pretty cool, nicely painted and shaded. This little plaque thing is magnetized and you can attach it to the base. Just goes on the front there. Why do we have so many stand arms? Well, it's for this stuff. There are 3 bat effect pieces, all a little bit different. This is the first one. They are kind of made of soft plastic, but just be careful with them. Here's the second one, and they all do have a little peg that you can attach to the stand arms. The bat shape is kind of a bit more prominent there. And this is the third one, just a big cluster of bats. Usually the stand looks like this. You can pull this thing off, attach this thing, should look like that. Then we can put the rest of the stuff on. And by that I mean the bat effects. Looks pretty cool, and of course you can just pose it in whatever way makes sense. The connection points can also be a little bit loose, but it's not unfixable, I think. So tell me, what do you think of the... I'm kidding, I haven't shown you the figure yet. This is the Red Death. Quick overall look. Little back shot. Overall, I think he looks pretty cool. Just red, which is, I suppose, one of my favorite colors. So there's some nice shading and detailing in the face. Sculpted very nicely, and these two things are metal, so be careful. Very pointy and sharp. Kind of an angry boy. He's frowning a little bit. The shading all around him is very nicely done, and I do like the kind of contrast between the matte bits as well as the shiny front plate armor. Paint, I would say, is neat enough, although it is kind of hard to tell because he's kind of got like that gritty shading and shadows around him, so even if something is a little bit off, you probably wouldn't notice it too much. I suppose it's painted to look like dirt, which is quite a cool detail. Soles of the feet, there is the DC copyright there. But yeah, overall, I'm liking the look a lot more than I thought I would. Personally, I actually like the INART aesthetic better, but shh, don't talk about that here. My main concern really was the ab section, which I thought looked kind of silly, but in hand it actually looks pretty cool. He does still have a very slight V-taper, which in my mind is something that superheroes usually have. Not quite sure what's happening with that little white bit though, I can't quite scrape it off. Never mind, managed to get rid of it. If I want to be nitpicky, which I will, on the left side of the screen now you can kind of see a little squiggly bit on his chest symbol. Not too big of an issue, but still worth mentioning. So what do you think about UPF's Red Death? Is he a cool dude, or do you prefer the look of the INART one? Articulation, and this is the first time I'm moving him about, so if anything is tight, then it will kind of be like that out of the box. So tilts, very good tilts. Of course, it did turn all the way around. Looking down, that much. Looking up, head range pretty good and feels quite smooth to move as well. Just, of course, be careful of these because very sharp. Arms, they will move up like that. So I'll say that's okay. Although, oh, that is a little bit strange. So it is a very skipping shoulder day. He's kind of making up for it with that armor there. So can get a little bit gappy, which gives him a very, very skinny arm, which is a bit strange. But otherwise, let's see. Of course, you can just like rotate it up, and it will look like that. I would say that looks fine, I guess. You can kind of, you'll have to just use the angles to kind of hide that, because that is, I don't really like that, to be honest, because I am quite lazy, so I kind of like things to just like fall in place. I like things to fall in place and just, I don't have to worry too much about, you know, the angles and stuff like that. What am I saying? Forward reach, something like that. So, not too bad, I would say. And from the back, it looks fine, I guess. You can just kind of cover that up. It's not too noticeable. It's only noticeable when you kind of do that, which I don't know what's going on there. Very strange. Forward reach, both arms. And I also did notice, this is pretty cool actually, this part of the chest here, the middle kind of like checkered part there, it does also move as well, which you probably can't really see. You can kind of see it there. So that moves as well, which is pretty cool. I do like the kind of like hidden kind of moving bits. I don't know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, backwards reach is not too good. So the butterfly is there, but then there's kind of no allowance for it. So going back only reaches that much, which is whatever. Bicep rotation there, it's pretty smooth. And then these double elbows. Yeah, the double elbows, right? So double elbows, that much. Don't really want to push it anymore. Feels like it might break, which wouldn't want to do. Let me check. Well, I guess because of his armor here, his big, bulky bicep bits, you can't really bend too much, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's okay. I suppose he can still do his, like, running poses, however you do those. That's not a good running pose. Let's see, what else is there? So there is kind of a rotation here, right? So there is a rotation here, which is cool. I guess there is some use for that. No rotation at the elbow there. Otherwise, wrists, a little bit limited as well. You know, it will kind of just do your standard. Well, not really, because this thing is in the way, right? So wrist movements, a little bit limited. Can only kind of like swivel side to side and then tiny bit of up down. Chest will rotate, I suppose. Oh, what's going on there? Don't rotate it too much, I guess. Let's see, so upper chest kind of doesn't really rotate. The middle part here does rotate, although you'll kind of just like, oh no, you can kind of just rotate this part to keep the flow of the torso. Sideways will start to look a bit strange, although I don't know why you would do that. Tilts, not too crazy, mostly just in the mid part there. So that's the tilt. And then bending forwards is quite good, I would say, although, holy crap. Let's see, yeah, you can kind of just cover that up, which is good. From back, no worries. Bending back, let's see, something like that. So it's not too crazy, although, yeah, it's okay, I think. So let's forwards and backwards, and then of course just move this waist covering bit to hide the gaps. Bends from the back look like that. Legs raise, oh, this one is stuck. So raises up to the sides like so. Don't think it goes any more. And then kicking up. That is a good upwards kick, I would say. Backwards, very nice. So very good forwards and backwards split. And then you can just do the bend, and then he can kick all the way up. And yeah, it's not too gappy either. So sprinting, running, leaping poses should be no issue. He does have a thigh rotation, although you will break up the sculpt a little bit there. Double knees, it's okay, I suppose. It's a bit chunky, but it is covered by this armor piece, which does tilt. Did not know that, so I don't know what the significance of that is, but it works. It doesn't rotate or anything there, and then feet up, down is a little bit limited because of pointy bit on the shin armor, and then tilts, very good tilts, holy moly. And of course you can just rotate it all the way around, and there is a toe joint. So what do you think of his articulation? What are these? He's got some effect parts. There are 5 of them. They're a little bit bendy, and you can just kind of put them wherever makes sense. Besides being pretty cool, the effect parts are actually quite versatile. You can kind of just give it to whichever figure makes sense. I think they work the best with Red Lustier. The Red Death has 2 heads. Honestly, I'm probably going to keep the mask on most of the time. Looks a lot cooler in my opinion. I suppose the human head is done well enough. Don't really care for it, to be honest. There is a massive seam line on the side as well, unfortunately. This is what the neck joint looks like. Just be careful when you're replacing the masked head, because you wouldn't want to stab yourself. He's got a few pairs of hands, of course. By default, he's got fisty hands. Kind of relaxed gesture hands. Grabby hands, I guess. Sprinting hands. Or salute, I suppose. And more gesture hands. I have no idea how to describe these. And the wrist joint. There are no spares, unfortunately. For height, UPF Red Death is 6.5 inches or 16.25 centimeters. Overall, he's a pretty cool figure with a good bunch of stuff. If you like the aesthetic, if you like the character, then definitely worth considering. I'll try to have some links down below if you want to grab him. Main issues for me, if you would call them that, is that I don't really like the goofy shoulder. And articulation is, it's okay. The ab section looks better in person, in my opinion, but it gets the job done. Keep your eyes out for the INART Red Death review. Do check out my socials as well at NoGoodFigures. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.